Welcome to WYCD Wicked, that stands for What You Can Do. It's your old pal Jake, and the thing you can do is vote. Vote, 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 vote. If you haven't, and you can, because your state allows it, go out and vote for Kamala Harris. Try to get other people to vote for Kamala Harris. The whole entire, oh my God, that's a lot of things. The whole entire country should either be voting for Harris or being shown the content that I will play for you tonight. Let's say hello to the gang. Pinkerbell, Jake streaming from the inside of a pumpkin somehow. She found me out. That's correct. It's a Jake-o'-lantern. Que pasa, y'all? Hello, Aaron W. Well, if it isn't my friend the Letterhead, Matt Strackfine. I tell you what, he just had a great show, including an interview with Rebecca Azor from Like It or Not. It was a lot of fun. The content I'm going to show you tonight will not come as a surprise to any of you, because all of you follow this stuff for funsies, really. In addition to, caring about the way the world works. But the point is, hopefully, I will be able to, actually some of it you might not have seen. MAGA's crazy, y'all. The point is, you may hear something you haven't heard before. You may hear a way to pitch this to that section of voters who are, let's face it, totally unaware of how their pants wound up on their legs, who could not write out instructions for operating a door, the undecided voter. Now, I'm kind of with Matt here in that I don't think they're a myth, actually, but I'm sort of with Matt in that I think they're viewed wrong. I think they pretend, like most Americans do, God help us, they pretend to have strong opinions about politics, and they just haven't decided who they like more. They know so much about this one and that one, and I guess I just need a little more information. If you're not decided and you're not already planning on voting for Harris right now, then you simply you either have no information or you've been misinformed. They're revealing themselves. The one upside to this, I suppose, son of a gun. Look at this. Member for 15 months. Tinkerbell keeping the 15-month party going. I guess there's a whole bunch of 15-month members over at the Letter Hack there. Pink, I think Matt and I are going to have to compete for that 16-month. I think we're going to have to try to outdo ourselves because I'm honored, man. But here's the idea. We're looking at MAGA voters, and if somebody says they're undecided, they are revealing that really what the deal is they don't understand any of this. Because you don't have to look very hard at who these folks are to know that you should do everything in your power to stop Trump from getting into office. If somebody's out there saying, like, well, I don't like Democrat tax policies, they have no fucking idea what the stakes are this time around. So we are going to show what MAGA is. It's a modern Nazi party in an era where somehow miraculously it's still not okay to say you're an actual Nazi. That'll go away. That'll go away if Trump gets elected. But before we get to that, I do want to show you one thing. Probably a good idea to stop using Twitter. Check this out.
This is what Twitter did in their infinite dogshit wisdom. Blows me away.
Pirates
This
Hub.
was their original TOS. This is their new TOS. Look what they added. This right here, analyze text and other information you provide, and to otherwise provide, promote, and improve the services, including, for example, for use with and training of our machine learning and artificial intelligence models, whether generative or another type. Your content can now be used in generative AI models if you post it on Twitter. That was the end.
So, in much the same way artists kind of stopped using Facebook because Facebook put wording in their terms of service that said everything you post on Facebook, including your family pictures, including your baby's picture, belongs to Facebook. They can do whatever they want with it. Twitter's just done that. Why? Because they've all invested heavily in AI. They want to make it work. They want to make it profitable, and a lot of them are just now realizing what AI is. It's nothing but a software that takes actual creativity and shakes it up and repackages it. That's it. Now look, good for the fact, good for humanity for inventing such a tool. But damn capitalism for having this wonderful tool for creation and changing it into something that steals creativity. That is what it does. So if you're an artist, actually, Matt, heads up, if you're an artist, probably don't want to post any more of your art on Twitter on account of the fact that Elon Musk wants to steal it. But then again, it would be quite funny if he wound up stealing a bunch of anti-Elon Musk stuff. And it just keeps spitting that back out. Okay, but how do we bridge that communication gap, asks Pinkerbell? That thing where people hear different meanings based off meanings of things based on their point of view. It's frustrating and difficult to come to an understanding. True. When we aren't agreeing on what things mean. Yeah, I see what you're saying. If you're talking about politics, for starters, I would suggest not engaging in the game that's played with this. It's actually not a terribly difficult conversation. You don't need to memorize 40 years of Democrat tax policy. You don't need to know the specifics of you know, let me give a specific, and then I'll explain why you don't even really need that. Trump signed deregulation. He signed into law deregulation that made train brakes not need to follow certain procedures they used to. They didn't need to be checked as often as they used to be. The weight limit, I think it was, went up for a certain style of brakes. Uh, that caused that very thing that he deregulated caused the crash and derailment in East Palestine. At the same time, Joe Biden took the side of the workers who were demanding that those safety regulations be put back because their lives were at risk. They had other demands as well. Joe Biden sided with them. Trump is directly responsible for the crash in East Palestine. He's directly responsible for the chemicals being soaked into the skin of community members who bathe there, entering the stomachs of community members who have a glass of water there. That's on Trump. All that baby cancer that is going to be discovered over the next decades, that's on Trump. You don't need to know all that. You don't need to get stuck in this thing of having to have an encyclopedic knowledge of the events of the world because it is a very simple situation. Republicans have always been bad for the economy. It's on them to prove that is not so because all evidence points to that being the case. You simply state facts. You say Republicans are bad for the economy. Don't think it's true? Find me something that says trickle down economics has been successful. But it's just not. You don't need to have a degree in the law, in law enforcement or law license to know that it was a dangerous thing for Trump to gather 10,000 people outside of the Capitol on January 6th and then tell them to go to the Capitol and be angry and fight like hell. You're going to hear lots of cult members try to deny reality. And I would say at this point in time, it's not on you to try to sway them. People you're trying to sway are the people who are pretending like they're agonizing over this decision. Do I vote for the person who caused the train crash or some lady? Do I vote for the person who led a coup or some lady? So hard, so difficult. Bullshit. It's not a difficult choice. If they're not already committed to voting for Kamala Harris, they are failing as adults. And you can tell them bluntly, this is not a difficult choice. This is pretty straightforward. One is a blatantly evil, I was going to call him a man rat, but he's not really much of a man. One is a blatantly sinister person. One clearly has terrible intentions. If you think that's just something Democrats say, then you don't have an ability to assess reality, and you should work on that. But you work on it after you vote for Harris. When we aren't agreeing on what things mean, let me see this. Oh wait, no, I didn't go down there. Anyway, Pink, I'm sure I haven't addressed what you were talking about because none of that touches on agreeing on the definitions of things. But frankly, the people we should be talking to don't need things defined. They simply need to be informed that events happened. I use the Palestine crash. That's a very specific one. We can go much broader. You say Trump led a coup. There are organizations around the world whose job it is to track coup d'etats, they have defined January 6th as an attempted self-coup of the United States government. It doesn't matter if he's gone to prison for it yet or not. He tried a coup. There's no question here. He's a villain, and Kamala Harris is no hero, but she's not a villain. And for our own safety, we must keep Trump out of office. So I asked the letter hack, "What are you drinking?" He said, "Soy milk." I responded, "Hola milk, soy pitchforks." All right. Well done. Well done. I read that once and didn't get it. Wasn't until I read it out loud that I got there. That's solid. Okay, but this is the problem, says Pinkerbell. They hear Trump did a coup and they stop listening. Facts have become thought-terminating cliches. So it depends on the they we're talking to. If you're talking to a Republican, they are, you know what? No, let's take them all. I'm gonna be like, just gonna needlessly throw a brick right now in anger, a dear friend. I'm gonna be like, mad at the glory hole, taking on all comers. The no reason. I'm so sorry. They stop listening. That's amazing. That really is. They hear Trump did a coup and they stop listening. I would say at that moment, you say, acknowledge to me that you understand what I said. You know, I just told you that Trump tried a coup. He tried to take over the government undemocratically. Do you understand what that means? It means ignoring the way we do things. It means breaking the rules to stay in power illegally. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand how serious that is? Do you understand that we cannot allow someone like that near power ever again? Fixate on it. They're like, I'm just going to move past this. No. No, then you know it's the thing you don't move past. Then you hone in on it. You don't think it's a big deal that Trump tried a coup? There's no point in any other conversation about anything. I'm even talking about what your favorite sandwich is. Nothing else in life matters if you cannot acknowledge that one of the people you're considering voting for tried a coup in America. We must deal with that. That absolutely must be dealt with. The problem is they don't understand the seriousness of it because our leaders didn't take it very seriously. Our leaders appointed Merrick Garland, a henchman for the right, to be in charge of this. Frankly, a henchman for the ruling class. Joe Biden refused to talk about this like what it was. They are not interpreting things based on a set of facts they poured over. They're looking at how people are acting around things and making their judgment based off that. Well, Trump's not in prison, so he must not have done anything that bad because they would have locked him up if he tried a coup. They're going to look at how you behave as well. If you say Trump tried a coup and they say, yeah, that's what a lot of people, you say, well, what about this other thing? Then they're going to think you didn't mean it when you said he tried a coup. He did. He did it in front of cameras. You can pull up the clip at the very end of the speech. I've learned the hard way. He says they fight like hell. Oh, excuse me. He said, you have to fight like hell. These are facts. And these are facts that people who have shoved their head in a nice warm sand have failed to address. I don't know why. I just felt like doing that for no goddamn reason. Yeah. Yeah. But look, if I dance the whole time I'm voting, would that make me a pole dancer? It certainly would. I think if you even dance a little bit while you're voting, it makes you a pole dancer. I'm disappointed that I didn't. I'll swing by the polls again and do it just for the title. But look, my point is not that we are going to we're going to have a ton of success convincing people. Our job is to convince a couple of people each. When the opportunities present themselves, if you find somebody, and people are going to be talking about voting a lot, you'll probably come across somebody. If you find somebody that says they haven't decided or they haven't already gone out and voted, now's your time. Now's the time when you got to act, because you're talking to somebody who does not appreciate the danger we are all in. These clips tonight, these will help you explain to them, because they're all recent events demonstrating how fucking crazy these people are. Sorry for the derogatory term for crazy. You know what I mean. How off kilter these folks are. We got to deal with it. Case in point.
And an investigation is underway following the discovery of an incendiary device inside a
This is the Republican Party. Talking broadly about who we're dealing with, this is the Republican Party.
ballot box in Portland. Meanwhile, in Vancouver, Washington, ABC affiliate KATU captured the moment heavy smoke was seen coming from inside a drop-off ballot box. ABC's Alex Stone is tracking that for us from the LA Bureau. Alex, what's the latest on these incidents?
Well, we're just getting details on them right now, Diane. Two different incidents, the one at 3:30 in the morning in the Vancouver or in Portland, and then 6:30 in the morning in the Vancouver area. Those two only about a 15, 20-minute drive apart from one another. And police in both of them, we know the FBI is now looking into them. Police say they don't know who did this. You can see in this video right here, the smoke coming out in the Vancouver incident. They know that there were hundreds of ballots that were in that drop box and that it involved ballots that were dropped off from 8 a.m. yesterday morning. The last pickup in the box was at 8 o'clock yesterday morning. And right now the FBI is responding. Police don't know, was this vandalism? Was it something more organized? They are investigating it, but just in the last couple of hours, the fire is breaking out.
So what are election officials saying to anyone who thinks their ballot may have been in one of those boxes?
Yeah, they're saying if you dropped off your box or your ballot in either of these boxes after 8 a.m. yesterday morning when they did their last pickup, that you need to contact the election auditor's office and let them know. And they will know and try to track where your ballot is and if they can get to that ballot and if the ballot burned in that box. But there were, at least in the one in Vancouver, hundreds of ballots in the box that did burn. But they say that they will be able to track that down. All of this a concern. The ballot boxes are a target for somebody who may want to make a point. We know in the Vancouver area, there is a tight congressional race going on. They don't.
Wait a minute. Make a point for someone who's trying to steal an election, for someone who is a domestic terrorist. It wasn't violence against people, but it was violence. They used violence to try to affect politics. The Republican Party is the party of terrorists. That's all they are. After this election, if it is not a blue tsunami and the Republican Party doesn't go away naturally, we should take steps to make it so. It's not a political organization. It is a crime ring. That is what it is. We have to deal with that seriously. It's been impossible to deny it, and yet we have since the 80s. Actually, I guess we haven't even had to, because people haven't had the chutzpah to say it. Since the 80s until 2018, Republicans were not allowed to post poll watchers. Why is that? Well, because they were trying to do terrorism. Because they were trying to intimidate people with guns at the polls. That's who Republicans are. They do not have a shred of decency in their filthy bodies. Republican politicians simply cannot be trusted. Anyone who works for Republican politicians simply cannot be trusted. And I don't mean that I don't mean that emotionally. I mean that as a statement of fact. If a Republican politician says something is so, you must immediately doubt that that thing is so. If they told me the sky was blue, I'd have to go check and make sure it wasn't purple. They lie. They are liars. And now the people who follow them are starting to get it. They're starting to understand, oh, we're supposed to be doing wretched things. We're supposed to be acting un-American. We're supposed to be burning ballots to get our way. That's how this game is played. Show this to them. Links in the description. Show this to somebody who says they're undecided. Oh, I'm undecided. Which side am I on? Am I going to support the bunch of goddamn terrorists? Am I going to support the villains of our time? Am I going to support these horror shows that burn ballots? Or a party of decent human beings? I just can't figure it out. Show them this. Most early voting has been done by Democrats. When we have seen crimes surrounding the election, including the 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump, it has been Republicans that do it because that is who they are. It's not a complicated conversation. I've reached out to Republicans lately. I have talked to Trump voters lately. They play dumb, and apparently they do method acting in their lives. But the fact is, they either don't know what policies Trump supports, what Trump intends to do, or what Trump has done, or they cover up for it and they say it wasn't so. It was something else. I know it looks that way. I know Trump said it is that way, but it's something else because, it would be really bad if I was supporting somebody that said, go down to the Capitol and fight like hell on January 6th. That would be bad if I was supporting that. So it must not have been that way. I must not have heard that. That must not have been said. It was said. It was said in front of national cameras. This is who we're talking about.
Don't know if that is involved in this. The FBI is responding. Police have now put out the fires, and firefighters have put them out. Arson investigators are looking into it, but they are beginning their investigation. And was this something to try to impact the vote, to destroy those ballots? Was it somebody just doing something, putting something in there to try to create a scene or to get a reaction? They don't know as of right now.
Okay. Hey, maybe they'll say, well, we don't know who did that yet. Maybe it was a Democrat. Maybe for the first time in all these years, it was a Democrat that was being a little terrorist and not yet another Republican. Okay, let's go to that rally at Madison Square Garden. Let's go there and see what the content of these folks' character is.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Kamala's gross incompetence, disqualified.
Let's go back to Tony Hinchcliffe. For the record, I watched Kill Tony before this. That's the show Tony Hinchcliffe does, Kill Tony. He has comedians up. I enjoyed Cam Newton, one of the comedians there, except what I didn't like is Cam kept doing jokes about the fact that he was black. In fact, the only comedy they seemed to go to between Tony and Cam was Cam is black, Tony's gay. That was the punchline of effing everything. And frankly, I just thought it was lazy. It was lazy humor. I was like, where's your, tell me something about life. Quit trying to get a giggle out of crossing a social boundary, which clearly is no longer shocking to cross. Not terribly surprising now to see Tony Hinchcliffe up there. Now, let me say this. Tony is a comedian who tries to shock. If somebody tells you, if you show them that, you say, this motherfucker opened for Donald Trump. If they try to tell you, well, he's just a comedian, point out that context matters. He said that on a stage that Donald Trump shared. And Trump didn't come out and say, hey, we disagree with Tony on that. Nope. No, he did not. If they walk this back at all, it will only be because they realized belatedly that Puerto Ricans can vote. Show people who say they're undecided, who pretend like they've been weighing a decision instead of just not Googling who these people are or reading anything about them at all. Show them this. Show them Tony Hinchcliffe's whole bit. Show them what the other speakers said. This is what one of our political parties thinks is okay to do. By the way, at the site of a famous Nazi rally. Anti-corporatist, thank you. Love your, I get notification. Well, thank you for being a member for 16 months. I hope you get notifications. Turn the notifications on if you don't get them. But thank you for being a member for 16 months. Man, that's awesome. You're truly the one of the OGs here, my friend. I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we're doing this in an environment where next we get to talk about what I think is going to be the fun stuff, which is how do we slice up the Democratic Party. We're going to talk about the reality of that in a moment. Buying ballots there is also just a waste. Wouldn't change the outcome anyway. A waste of time if intentional. Someone tell that guy that he's not funny. He's really genuinely not. And I stopped watching him not because I was offended. I was mildly annoyed by their humor, but it seemed something like they were both okay with, he and this Cam Newton fella. He's not funny. For the crowd he's playing in front of, his whole strategy is say something cruel. It's maddening.
Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Kamala's gross income.
Yeah, you can share this video, which is a montage of the character of this party now. Don't just say don't vote for Trump. Say vote straight ticket Democrat, because the whole party endorses this crap.
Competence disqualifies her from being president. Everyone knows she is a very low IQ individual.
It's going to be pretty hard.
She was a prosecutor. Nobody serious says she is a quote-unquote low IQ individual. In fact, nobody serious uses the phrase low IQ individual. That's something a dummy says. She was a prosecutor. She was the vice president. This dude can go himself. Here's Tucker Carlson, a guy, by the way, who was fired from Fox News over a combination of lying about the last presidential election, and sexually harassing his staff. Now, assuming you're talking to somebody with absolutely no morals whatsoever, because they've chosen not to get involved in this era in the United States. I'm assuming they're a real dirtbag, and they don't care that Tucker Carlson was invited onto stage after finding out what a scumbag he is to his employees. Okay. The fact that he lied to millions of Americans about the election should tell you something about the honesty of the party that has invited him to come speak. He lied about Trump winning the last election. Trump did not. Tucker Carlson, it was revealed over text messages, knew that he didn't, and he lied anyway. And now here he is again.
Hard to look at us
Maybe he's going to say something really inspirational, though, you know?
and say, you know what? Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ, she's a fake.
Intentionally getting her race wrong. That's who these people are. Look, you can not support them because they invited somebody like that on stage for one of two reasons. Either you don't cotton to the fact that they you don't put up with them intentionally making light of someone's race. Like, it's a wild thing to be two things. Funny, I don't think they'd be saying that if they were Irish and Scottish. But yeah, she's Indian and black. Or you can just say, hey, they invited somebody on stage who doesn't have the sense to know what the race of the other candidate is, and yet chose to bring it up anyway. So you can not support them because they're too evil or they're too dumb. Either way, just don't support them. These people should not be running the country. Hey, here's somebody else.
A fraud. She's a pretender. Her and her pimp handlers will destroy.
Pimp handlers, he says. These are all people that were up on stage before Trump. These are all people that Trump asked to come to Madison Square Garden and rant in front of his audience, which applauded. This is their character. This video is, what is it? 1 minute and 38 seconds. Let's just hear it all, the rest of it. Let's just rip this Band-Aid off. And bear in mind, the thing to tell people is show this to them. Say, this is the character of the party you're considering voting for. These are people that were trying to pitch themselves to America. This is their pitch. What do you think of it? Here's the whole thing from the jump.
I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Kamala's gross incompetence disqualifies her from being president. Everyone knows she is a very low IQ individual.
It's going to be pretty hard to look at us and say, you know what? Kamala Harris, she got 85 million votes because she's just so impressive. As the first Samoan, Malaysian, low IQ.
She's a fake, a fraud. She's a pretender. Her and her pimp handlers will destroy our country.
Kamala has imported criminal migrants from prisons and jails, insane asylums and mental institutions from all around the world.
She is the devil, whoever screamed that out. She is the Antichrist. President Trump, in what he has experienced, knows that Jesus Christ is king.
I don't see no stinking Nazis in here. I don't see no stinking domestic terrorists in here.
Out of character for me to speak at a Nazi rally. I was just in Israel, but I took the gig. She is some sick bastard, that Hillary Clinton, huh? What a sick son of a bitch. The whole fucking party, a bunch of degenerates, lowlives, Jew haters, and lowlives.
You have to tell Kamala Harris that you've done a terrible job. Kamala, you're fired. Get out. Get out.
Isn't it interesting that two of them felt the need to bring up Nazis? Hulk Hogan, aka Terry, whatever his name is, he was invited back despite the fact that he was talking about body slamming the other candidate. He was joking. but it's inappropriate, especially considering the fact that Republicans keep doing political violence. A failed Republican candidate hired people to shoot at the doors of his competition in one state, shot bullets at their homes. A Republican candidate who I believe made it into office literally body slammed a journalist. This is who we're considering. Why do they keep mentioning Nazis? Why are they making jokes about Nazis? Oh, a lot of Nazis here tonight. Well, more broadly, it's because this is the party the Nazis support, as in neo-Nazis vote Republican. That's who you're considering voting for, undecided voter. You're considering siding with actual neo-Nazis. The Klan votes Republican. That's one reason. But the other reason is that rather famously, that arena was the site of a Nazi rally in America, an actual Nazi rally in America. Trump's own former chief of staff accused him of being a fascist, of intending to turn America into a fascist country. If they start to close their dumb ears to those words, please point out that following those accusations, whether they're true or not, they're true. But whether or not they're true, Trump then made the decision to host this event at the site of a famous pro-American fascism rally. Well, it was so on the minds of the people speaking that two of them brought it up. One of them even made a joke about how, despite the fact that he supports Israel, he's now supporting the Nazis. There it is. That's who these people are. Logan Hill, oh my word, member for 9 months, thank you. GOP says Dems have no plans, but they also lean into fear of anyone not like them / who doesn't have their ideas. It's racist, misogynist, and xenophobic. Yeah, plus they're just straight up lying. Democrats actually have plans. Yeah, good point. And they named themselves after the organization. America First. It was a Nazi organization. Because that's who these people are. It's not a complicated conversation. If you're talking to somebody who claims to have not decided yet, it's because they haven't thought yet. It's a very simple thing. One party is evil, one party is normal. Not good, just normal. And it's not evil like, well, I suppose if you look at it from a certain philosophical, it's pretty blatant. It's pretty blatant. It's not a difficult conversation. But it is a necessary conversation. You haven't voted yet? Go out and vote for Harris. Oh, I'm not sure which way I lean yet. Well, then you have no idea what's happening around you. I'm going to take 30 seconds now and explain to you that the majority of Trump's former staff now say you shouldn't vote for him. It gets a lot funnier after this, I promise. There's other things you could show them. If you want to show them what the character of Trump and his lackeys are, you show them that rally. If you suspect the person you're talking to doesn't themselves care about character, they don't personally care about right and wrong, and you know what? That's very possible if they're an undecided voter. You can show them the funniest goddamn thing that has ever existed. That is the America First Patriotic Designer Showcase. This is to demonstrate to the undecided voter the fact that these people cannot even run a fashion show, much less a country. Trump bungled the response to COVID. He specifically undid protections Obama put in place for a pandemic before COVID hit. Trump's the guy that had to be walked back from nuking hurricanes. And then when he flubbed up talking about where a hurricane path was headed, rather than have the decency and the maturity to admit a mistake and correct it, he took out a map and he drew on it with a Sharpie to make it look like the hurricane was going where he said it was going. He lied, in other words. It's dangerous incompetence. It's incompetence that puts you in danger. And if you want to have some fun, here it is as a fashion show. This is the sort of people, this happened in September. These people put on, to Alabama. Oh, good call, Panker Bell. AC was there. Yeah, that's right. He also undid the protect. Good memory, AC. The protections Bush put in. But anyway, this is what it looks like when a bunch of MAGA types try to put on a fashion show. You know, they're trying to infiltrate culture. They're trying to get their wriggle their nasty feces covered, fur covered bodies into I guess I should say fur and feces covered bodies into every little crack of society that they can. This is what it's like when they make their way into the world of fashion. Let me see.
Oh, the perilous.
And some of them aren't here, but they have fascinating stories. And you're also going to meet some of the people you've seen on major TV at Trump events with their great creative designs.
This is a MAGA fashion show.
There's a lot of media here tonight. We have media from the left and the right. We are actually taping this, and we are closing the show on Newsmax tonight. So
now you know who Newsmax is.
So we've had a couple of changes in the schedule, not to mention the fact that a lot of people who were participating in this are involved in the pre-rally security and participation events. So bear with us.
In other words, she just said, all the people you're going to see tonight are deeply involved with the Trump campaign specifically and MAGA politics generally. Just so you know, if you had any doubt about the thing you're about to see, we're finishing the show for Newsmax. A lot of our people are involved in a Trump rally that's going on at the date of this recording, so that the quality of this show should reflect how MAGA is, how they run things, how they run an operation, if you will. The quality of this show, just to make that absolutely clear up front.
And please remember that everybody is watching our show, and we hope you enjoy it.
Remember, everybody's watching our show. Yes. Yes, we are. I want to say before this begins, I didn't show this when it first came out because I thought for sure it must be a parody. It just has to be. It has to be one of those things where a comedian, or in this case, I thought like a group of improv comics, were doing something to make fun of MAGA. Nope, these people are all MAGA through and through. Let's hear the national anthem done
We'd like
with the
to
talent available.
introduce somebody
to
who
MAGA.
many of you will recognize, who opened up the convention in Milwaukee. I was lucky enough to hear him in person. Grammy winner Daniel Erb.
Yes, most of these people either worked for Trump in some capacity or they're simply MAGA activists, including this idiot.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and
People stand
bright
crying.
stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled
Oh, they're just remembering the stand.
banner yet wave?
Get a sense of the size of the room there. Not exactly a coliseum, but that's not their
For the
fault.
land of the free,
I actually feel
and
a
the
little
home of the brave.
bad. Oh, God. If you think that you've just experienced the most awkward thing that you're going to experience tonight, hold all the way on to your butts. Because despite the fact that that was an awkward performance, the guy's got skill as a singer. It looked very weird with him wearing what he was wearing. I need to mentally get ready for the next character that's coming up. And I need you to brace yourselves, because the guy that just sang isn't the singer tonight. This man has haunted my nightmares for a month. If you can't handle the episode of The Office where they have a dinner party, I understand if you leave, because things are going to get wild.
We're going to start the show with somebody else who you saw at the
We're going to start the show with somebody else.
convention. She got a lot of attention, and she's brought some exclusive designs here tonight as well. Sarah Brady.
You know I'm going to tear them to shreds with their designs. Oh, we don't have the music on. Okay. Okay. This is how MAGA run things. Oh, now we're remembering. The music is supposed to exist. Sarah Brady having discovered the apron. I would love it if it was a drag show. I've watched this twice, and I just now realized that I've just now spotted.
A lot of you have seen these bags. We are selling them at the America's First Warehouse. They are custom made. Part of the Say It on a Bag Club.
I hope so. I would actually like
Doesn't
that.
matter if you're Republican or Democrat.
Founding Fathers, I think.
We the people. We are all the people of the United States of America.
Yeah, Metal One. What is this? A
This
fashion
month,
show? It's a MAGA
We have a
fashion
discount
show.
on it, $200.
This is how MAGA runs things.
And part of the proceeds will go to the America First Warehouse.
A discount and it's $200. Hold up. I'm gonna spare you guys. We're gonna jump ahead a little bit. Oh god, I have to play this off Twitter. Of course, it's hard loading the video. Oh, unbelievable. That's how MAGA runs a social media site, by the way. All right, reloading this.
You're going to see throughout the show.
Me. Oh god, yes. Oh yeah. Oh shit.
She is a Christian Zionist and was getting ready to be on a reality show, and life changed. She now lives in the South and is a nurse, but due to popular demand, people have asked her to make one-of-a-kind designs, and these are her two
Christian
latest.
Zionist.
Ruth Zabetta Couture.
I F'd with the camera, and when I try to un-F it, I screw it up worse. This is how WYCD runs an internet stream. Whoops. I'll say this. If you take off the crowns, I don't hate those outfits.
We have, because we are the party that
Maybe the show isn't going to be too terrible. I'll just put this on full screen and let the next person come up.
does respect women. We have more representation from Back the Blue. These t-shirts support the PBA that has backed Donald Trump. And now we have a Billboard recording star who is a proud representative from the Log Cabin Republicans, who has been the target because of his stand with Republicans. Let's give a loud applause to Lavari.
All right, Lavari of the Log Cabin Republicans.
What's going on, Long Island? It sounds good, but it's not me. There we go. We ready to make America great again?
Turning to the guy on his phone.
So you wanna talk about me? Only going to scream on me. Hi. What's going on, guys? So how's everybody doing? What do we got going on? What's going on?
Embarrassment right now.
MP3, keep it moving or yearning.
Okay, so just so you know what's happened, they're playing the wrong track. They're playing his song, and it's not the correct song, and it's the version where he's recorded singing in it. So there he is with the microphone trying to sing, but he's interrupting himself. And so now he's trying to improvise on stage. If you're wondering, well, wait a minute. That recording, the singing I'm hearing sounds awful. Surely that's not what they've called the final product of something. Yeah, that's the best he can do.
Is this what we're doing? This fun. Remember the New Year's Eve Mariah Carey? That's what I'm feeling like right now. We'll go with this. Okay. No holding back. Gotta do me, no one else. I can see you're on attack. I suggest you just turn back. Cause there's words I'm not about to retract. There's no hope.
If you're wondering, does he know all the lyrics to his own song? Obviously no. Obviously no.
In the 80s they used to say.
If you're wondering, do they have the camera pointed at a screen which is showing the feed of the camera, thus creating an infinite loop within their own shot? Yes, they are. Okay.
All I want is my TV. Fast forward to the present day. We're all stars on YouTube. Give you all my money.
It wasn't even on. It was on Twitter. It wasn't even on YouTube. For the record, also, you don't brag.
You to make a video for me, but you took it to support your habit instead. What kind of dish is that? I'm not supporting that. There's no holding back. No need to restrain myself. No holding back. Gotta do me, no one else. You can see I'm on attack. I suggest you just turn back. Cause these words I'm not about to retract. There's no holding back. No need to explain myself. No holding back. Gotta do.
I don't remember his name. And that's a courtesy to the performer. Logan Hill, is this a sanctioned show? This got signed off on? Yes. This got promoted. This is who they are. It's not always sad. It's often sad. All right, it is always sad, but it's also sometimes also quite silly. Look at the Nazis trying to put on a fast.
No one else. You can
Hugo
see
Boss
I'm
the
on
same.
attack. I suggest you just turn back. Cause these words I'm not about to retract. There's no holding back. Trump Fest 2024, thank you! Thank you. Maybe for the second song, we'll have the song I was supposed to sing. Thank you, Hat Tricks. Thank you.
He argues with... He argues with them on stage with the microphone. Maybe for the second song, we'll have the song I was supposed to sing. Here's the thing. A lot of people make the observation that there is such a thing as a diva. Someone who is a performer and a bit of an a-hole. A lot of people who make that observation then take the wrong conclusion, which is that you have to act that way if you're somebody, you know? The correct conclusion for why there are celebrities or performers that are a handful is because whether or not you're a nice person doesn't have a lot to do with whether or not you get a high-performing job. And if you are a very valuable person, you can get away. Like, as in, if not a lot of people can do what you do, you can get away with terrible behavior because you're difficult to replace. So your behavior can be 1 degree below how difficult you are to replace. This is the sort of person who thought, you know you've made it when you start being an a-hole. That's how you make it, is you argue with the staff from the stage, embarrassing yourself and everybody else. Did I hear them arguing back and forth with the microphone still on when they were behind the stage? Why, yes, I did. What happened? Okay.
We have several designers that you're going to see throughout the show. The first one is going to be a designer by the name of Katie G. Some of you saw the New York Post article that included her piece called Fake News.
Patrick Kivido. My dogs just came in here and begged me to make it stop. Yeah, dogs fundamentally can recognize when something without a soul is singing.
Well, I got so many calls about that jumpsuit. So wearing another piece from Katie G is 3-time Emmy winner Martha Byrne. You're right after.
Oh. This is like, imagine if we had this for the actual Nazis. They're walking out with like Hitler.
I'm sure many of you remember Martha from As the World Turns.
As you can see, she's become a real trash human being.
She is just one of many celebrity public figures in the audience.
Soap opera.
I want to introduce an artist you all know.
Tinkerbell. Obviously, they cheaped out and didn't hire a unionized camera crew. Yeah, of course. These are Republicans. They are horrible.
A friend to the America First Warehouse. Where is Scott Lebedo?
Oh my God, please tell me this is the comedian. Hey, there's a comedian that comes out. I'm running this thing and I don't know where the talent is. Where is the talent? Is he there? No. Is he there? Will you come on?
Many of us love to follow his adventures and his support.
I'm wearing my TJ Maxx pink shirt that I got for $11.99.
I was literally about to say that's actually a good look. And then he reveals, no, this is TJ Maxx.
Everybody, I just want to say that I just told Joe the box. I just told him that this is cool because everybody thinks we're a bunch of just like hard-ass conservative Trump. And it's all about, what we do here with make America great.
Yeah.
This is creative. This is art. See, we could be creative. I've always been a creative conservative, and it's nice to see this happening. A fashion show at the America First Warehouse. We're not what they say we are. So this is awesome. Nice, beautiful women here. One handsome guy here. Anyway, it's wonderful to be here, and let's get the show going. This guy, I don't know. Hold on one second. Stand up. I want this guy to stand up. I don't know who he is. What's your name?
Good Lord.
I'm sorry, but you look like Cohen, the lawyer. Yeah, not good. Doesn't he? He does. Grow a mustache.
Jesus.
Yes, not a good guy. Grow a mustache. I'm kidding. Thank you. Good job.
Thank you, Scott. And speaking of art, someone who made the cover of the Sunday New York Post has met the president multiple times. He has her art. And she's here tonight, the MAGA Angelo. And not only is she showing her gown dedicated to Donald Trump. But many of you know that we are debuting tonight the MAGA Fashionista bag that is sold exclusively at the America First warehouse. So here you are, and she's also debuting tonight from Hat Tricks, the MAGA Fashionista matching hat, made with Swarovski crystals.
Oh my God. All right, we're going to jump ahead to the comedian shortly. I'm just fixing my camera. I didn't realize hold on. I didn't realize the split on that dress is directly up the middle. There's a lot that's wrong with that dress. Okay. Good God. How do we get there? Let's find out. Just holds it up, huh?
Thank you, Joe. Everybody wants to be with Joe and at the America First warehouse because it's a place everybody is welcome and everybody feels comfortable. Another VIP I want to introduce tonight is a dedicated person.
Everybody is welcome at the America First warehouse, they say. Everybody's welcome. I do wonder, does that include trans people? I mean, ooh, there we go. It clearly, apparently, includes log cabin Republicans. All right, that's not nothing. But does it involve trans folks? Does it involve people who immigrate to the United States? If they are welcome at the America First warehouse, my question would be, why do the policies you support attack them? Why that, I guess, is my humble question to you. I'm just going to turn on autofocus. There we go. Just something to think about, gang. Okay, let's keep this horror show going. Remember, you are using this to explain to others why they should not vote for MAGA. They cannot even run a fashion show.
Who's been in the news a lot lately as one of the leaders of Voices for Seniors, Tracy Alvino. Together with Grace Colucci, they have been working tirelessly to find out answers about what happened to seniors during COVID. One of the goals tonight, as Jews Choose Trump, is to make religion fashionable again. Many of you know me, not really in the fashion world, but you know me as one of the most outspoken Jewish activists. I am the tri-state director of JEXIT, for Jews voting red down ballot for the first time and making a difference in 50 states, especially in local and state elections. I am the U.S. representative for Jews Choose Trump. And Republicans overseas in Israel, where there are approximately 500,000 Americans living there or studying there or at work. Jewish.
Taking Palestinian land. So you got a sense of who these folks are. You got a sense of how incompetent they are. No, you don't. I'm going to give you much more. I'm going to show you the comedian. Holy crap.
Battled like a lot of us have never seen. Our job at Veterans for Trump is to activate
home safely. One of the models is, again, another public figure. If we didn't thank so many of the people that made tonight possible. There is no I in team. Brand new radio show. Cara Castanova, and here are two of the girls with sharp hidden pearls.
I don't hate that dress. Don't let it be said that I can't say anything nice. I do not hate that dress. Oh.
By Claudia Lasota. And we have themed hat from Hat Tricks, a veteran.
Oh my God. Oh. Got it unzipped so you can't read it. Oh my God. Oh, and a Nazi slogan. You know what? I think that's where I want to end it. On the Nazi slogan, printed upon a bedazzled jacket, which makes a mockery of military service. That's who these people are. Look, if you want to show folks what they're considering voting for when they say they are an undecided voter, when they say they are an undecided voter, show them that. Show them that. Show them a fashion show made by a bunch of clowns designed to fleece a bunch of other clowns out of their money. And make sure they understand they cannot run a fashion show in a small room in the middle of I don't care where. They certainly cannot run a country. I cannot see, says Jersey Texan. That's for the best. Oh, we can't see the Nazi slogan. Well, it was America First. It's in a tiny little window. Fair enough. Boom. America First, it says. That's the slogan of Trump's campaign, but it doesn't mean it's not a Nazi slogan. It is. And he knows it is. Because he just held a rally in Madison Square Garden. Pinkerbell says it's just grift and grift on grift all the way down. Yep. Well, what makes it Nazi? Because it was used by the American Nazi Party. America First is a slogan used by literally in the late 1930s. Nazis in America. They loved what Hitler was all about. They wanted to start an American fascist movement, and their slogan was America First. In 2016, when Trump first started saying that, he was told on camera, you understand that's a Nazi slogan. And he said, I don't care. Well, not our fault. I point out that it's a Nazi slogan because you ought to consider the fact that he doesn't care. You ought to consider the fact that he doesn't think that anybody who supports him will mind all that much, either because they won't know or because when they find out, it's not going to annoy him to be associated with Nazis. They won't mind that association. Worth thinking about. If you just now found out, it's not your fault. But turn it over in your head for a little bit. Really think about what that means. Either the person loves Nazis or isn't bright enough to realize that you shouldn't hint that you love Nazis. Couldn't think of another slogan? Really? Couldn't think of another slogan. Now it's on a bedazzled jacket. You have a sense of who these people are now. Here's what I recommend you do. Vote first and foremost. Links in the description. If you could vote early, vote now. Go do that. Show other people what I've showed you tonight. I'm going to talk to Dusty in a moment. Show other people what I showed you tonight. It's not a difficult conversation. I don't claim that Kamala Harris is a hero, and nor should you, because it's not so. She is at best an average politician, at worst an average politician. She's just an average politician. But you can work with that. We can get things done with that. We, the American people, can get things done with that. Trump is a fascist. He tried a coup. It's not a matter of debate. He tried one. He sent people down to the Capitol. A mob. He told them to fight like hell. That's not enough for you? He's on tape, having called the governor of Georgia, trying to get him to change the votes. Threatening him with legal action if he didn't change the votes. It's not a matter of debate. This is not a character, or this is not the character of someone who can be allowed to be president. His generals, the people who were in his staff in the White House, have come out and said, don't support him. Don't support this guy. He does not have your interests at heart. They've called him a fascist. A general who Trump hired. Remember when he said he was going to hire the best people? It's not a question. It's not a difficult thing to figure out who you're going to vote for. You're either planning on voting for Harris already, or you've been lied to, or you've had your head in the sand. Those are the three things that can be. But it's really not difficult. Do consider that. Yeah, peacefully and patriotically. And fight like hell, he said. Dude, that's Dusty. You have to admit now, because it's serious now. You have to admit that you're trying to find reasons to support this guy. And you should ask yourself why you want to support this guy in the first place. Why you're doing these backflips. A cult is an abusive relationship amongst a group of people. And first and foremost, they ask you to deny reality. There was ample evidence that the election in 2020 was perfectly fair. Trump saw that evidence. He denied that evidence because it wasn't what he liked. Trump has contested every competition he's ever lost, including the Emmys. And he called them all rigged, including the Emmys. And in 2015, he said that he would only support the results of the election if he won. That is a fact. The guy does not have the character to be president. Anybody questioning that now has either been lied to or they have chosen not to listen. In the description, there's plenty of examples of who these people are. Show them to people who claim that they just don't have enough information yet, because any 5 seconds of any of that is enough to disqualify the entire MAGA movement from consideration. This has been WYCD Wicked. That stands for What You Can Do. My name's Jake, and this right cha is Donald James X.